Okay, so I am sorry. I do have clothes on. It looked a little bit like I didn't, but my video camera, this little special thing on my computer, is just didn't want to work. So
Ah,
we're just special. My special little computer. We have to be real sweet with her. So so hi, happy Thursday. I'm so happy to see you, friend.
I know. It's so good to see you too. This is the highlight of my day, I promise.
I mean, really, like
Yes.
I have been looking forward to this call since we talked about doing masterclass. You were one of the very first people that I wanted to reach out to do this call because we got to know each other at Glam. Was it the first time?
Yeah.
No, Directors
No,
Retreat.
director's retreat.
We got to know each other at Directors Retreat back in January when we were in Florida, and we connected, and I immediately was like, I like this girl. She is my people.
That's
And
cute.
then we met at Glam, and our husbands hit it off, which, it's rare to find couples that you're like, hey, I like her and he likes him. And I mean, not in that way, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you got this. And so it worked out. And so we were able to hang out the week at Glam, and we had so much fun with Jenny and Kristen Cook and some other of the Rubies that were there at the time. And it was just so much fun. So I have gotten to know Jennifer over, the past January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Have we really known each other 8 months?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I know.
So
Feels like I've known you forever.
I know, we pretty much talk every day
Yeah.
via Marco Polo.
Uh-huh.
And although we have a few phone conversations that need to happen in our near future. And so one reason, the rest of you guys, that I asked Jennifer to talk with us is because she is a consistent star stylist, pushing associate director very soon. That's in her, like, got her eyes on the prize. Consistently a Glam earner. She's actually tracking above me for Glam points, which is awesome. She asked me the other day, I think I should pace with you. Like, what are you doing for Glam? I told her my points and that she was beating me. And I'm like, rude. No, I'm kidding. I'm excited for you. And she works our full-time job. So
Yes. Hence
Jennifer,
this.
tell us a little bit, hence the beautiful backgrounds. I mean, or you too could have a crown above your bed at your in-laws' house. And so tell us about what, where you work, what you do, that type of thing.
Sure. Yep. So, as Callie said, I'm Jennifer Erbacher, and I am a star stylist. I've been a stylist for about 3.5 years, and I work full time in corporate communications for an organization called Project Lead the Way, and we do education curriculum and teacher training for pre-K through 12. And so I lead a team here at work. We do public relations, media relations, internal communications, corporate communications, all of the comms goodies come from my team. And so and I've been here for 7 years. So it's a lot to juggle sometimes, but you make it work.
And what did you do before that, though? Because I think you're
Yes. So I was a news reporter.
totally, which is why she's so good on camera.
You're sweet. You're
because
sweet.
you are. And so, okay, I'm pulling up our notes for the call so I can make sure that we go over everything, because I had it pulled up on my phone and then had to switch to vice versa. This is gonna happen. Okay, so I just dropped my phone off of my setup here. Okay, so working this full-time job, so how in the world, and I know this is one of the questions that everybody's going to want to know, so let's just kind of jump into it. How in the world do you manage your very successful Stella&Dot business? Because you have a team of how many?
Well, so my whole team, personal gen and then first, second line is 42.
Okay, so you have a team of 42. You work a full-time job. How do you do that but still remain consistent with Stella?
So it's really, for me, it's about setting priorities. I know that I'm not going to be able to get everything done. Like I'm not going to be able to do everything I can think of that would be fun to do in my business. So I'm really specific about figuring out what the high value activities are and then making those the priority for my week and trying to time block as much as I can throughout my days and my week. And so sometimes that means looking at my schedule for the day and finding 15-minute blocks between meetings where I can, do 5 reach outs, or using my lunch break to like go sit outside and like spend 30 minutes, because if I'm sitting in front of my computer at work, I will just keep working. Or doing it at night for an hour. But I try to be really consistent and do something each day, spend at least 15 to 30 minutes. And I try to plan that ahead of time, and I try my hardest to stick to it. And I know, and for anybody else who works full time too, like sometimes things just go off the rails and you just got to go with it. But as hard as you can, just trying to be able to get like those few key things done that you wanted to accomplish that day.
And I know this because I talk to you almost every day. Where
are you there?
Are you there? Yep. Are you on my back?
Yep.
I'm on my phone, so that was a phone call that I just ignored. Okay. If you're trying to call me, I can't answer you right now. So I know, because I talk to you every day, that that there are days when you have I'm going to go to work and I'm going to get XYZ done, and then you get to work and a huge project is thrown at you. And what I think is really unique about you is that after so many times of you having, a list of things that you're going to do, and then you get to work and your day is kind of turned topsy-turvy and you don't get that list done, it's real easy to be like, forget it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do Stella&Dot. It's too hard. I'm juggling too many things. But for some reason, you have had a consistent business. So how is it that you can deal with the constant balancing act and yet still be consistent?
Yeah, so I think, and I talked to my team about this. So I realized early on that I need to plan out my week on a Sunday, because if I get 15 minutes on a Monday between meetings, or if I have a crazy day and everything goes haywire and I get home and that's when I'm trying to figure out what I need to be doing, I spend the time I have figuring out what I need to be doing, and then the time's gone and I can't do anything. So I learned early on that it's really important to plan on like a Sunday night or a Monday morning, like whatever it is for you early on in the week, what you need to get done that week. And I do it through a brain dump. So like on a Sunday, I sit down with a Post-it note or just the note on my phone, whatever I have handy, and I dump everything that I need to get done for my business that week onto paper. And no like organization to it, no rhyme or reason. I just like brain dump. So that could be like send hostess packets to, Shelly and Tina, mail out kudo gift, reach out to 30 new people, follow up with, 10 from last week, like hostess coach, whatever, like that, anything. I just dump it all down. And then
So you're looking at your week as a whole.
As a whole, yeah. Like what I just need to get done before that week's over. And then I rank them in priority. So like what's the most high value activity? And those would be like booking, sponsoring, and selling activities. Like if it's not related to booking, sponsoring, and selling, like I try to rank it lower because it can wait. Like it can fall off to like Saturday morning or whatever. And then also rank them in terms of like what's the most urgent. Like if I'm sitting where I am this week and I have like one trunk show for this month, like booking is super urgent, right? Because like I need to get those reach outs done. So that goes to the top of my list. And then I look at how I can break those into days. So like, Monday after work, I'm going to get to these 4 things. Like Tuesday, I don't have any meetings on my calendar. So I'll use my lunch break and I'll do like these 2, or like I can run to the post office. Like, I look at that kind of stuff. And then, sorry, it was telling me my internet connection is unstable, whatever that means. And then I also, so that's how I kind of look at my week. I read once, or recently actually, it was like a daily like motivational thing, and it was like we tend to overestimate what we can get done in a day, but underestimate what we can get done in a week. And so I like to look at my myself in a week. And if my day goes crazy, I try not to like throw the baby out with the bathwater and be like, oh, just forget it. It's lost cause. This week's going to suck. I just try to pick it back up the next day and go back to what's the most important and just keep trying to check things off from there.
So, okay. So a couple of things I'm hearing that I think just watching you work your business have been really successful. And the first is that you have a system in place. And I remember when I started the Maven program, one of the first things that Danielle Redner taught us was that you cannot have a new goal or a new experience happening in your life or a new adventure that you want to take on and not have a new system and try and put that in an existing system. So you have to come up with some kind of plan and with some kind of system. So for you, that involves a Sunday night brain dump and then organizing that into book sale sponsor, whatever it may be. What I'm not hearing you say is that one of those things was probably getting on Facebook or Instagram and scrolling through all of that. Now, I mean, updating your VIP page. Do you have a VIP page?
I do. Yep.
And how much time do you spend on that?
And this is something actually that I would like to work on because I don't feel like I am a great social media person. Part of that is because I know that as soon as I get on Facebook, I get sucked in and I lose like 30 minutes of my life. So until I get like my most important things done for the day, I try not to get on there. And that's when I'll like post on my VIP page or something. But I'm probably posting like a handful of times a week. I'm not necessarily posting every single day, which I know is not the best practice, but I find more success in reaching out to people, directly doing reach outs, trying to book, trying to sponsor, things like that.
Okay. So that kind of, so you start your week off, you brain dump, you have systems and times in place, but inevitably you're going to hop on team page or you're going to talk to someone like me who does Stella&Dot full time. And it's just a natural thing to compare yourself to what somebody else is doing. So but we know that, what is it? The percentage, like 70 or 80 something % of our stylists work a full-time job. So the story you're telling yourself, Brene Brown, is that everybody else has all this time to work Stella&Dot. When the truth is you're more of the majority than I am. But how do you save yourself from going down the pit and the trail of comparison and feeling less than enough in your own business? And I don't know, how do you prevent that?
Well, I love that you're asking me this question because you know that I do that because I talk to you about it.
That's what I love, because you tell me when you're doing it. And then what do I tell you?
No, I do it. I totally
Shut up. Stop doing that. You're awesome. That's what I tell you.
That is what you tell me. And that actually has helped me tremendously over the last 8 months of knowing you because I do it. I'm human. I compare myself to others because some of my best Stella&Dot friends are people who work this full time, or don't have another full-time job. And so it's really hard not to get caught up in the, oh my gosh, they're doing all these things for their business. They're so creative. They're, like doing this, like back to the basics series that you're doing, like I can't do that. And so I have to accept that there are things that I cannot do, but that I can do the high value activities really well. Like I can do those. I can find time for those. And so I'm going to do those. And then I try to rely on resources that are there, and not reinvent the wheel. So like you did an amazing call earlier this week as part of this program. And I sent it out to 3 of my team members because I was like, this is amazing training. Like, listen to this. I didn't try to like do a back to the basics too, because, I just can't. And so I think it's accepting where you are in your business. For those of you who were at Director's Day at Hoopla, there was an awesome, Lauren Sigler did like an awesome breakout on like just accepting where you are in your business. And she kept saying like, she is not me. And I've repeated that to myself a lot since Hoopla, and just kind of being grateful with what I do have in my business and where I am in my business, and just focusing on like what I can control. Like today, for example, my like list of things that I was going to get done today. I made a list last night of 30 people I was going to reach out to, and I have not gotten to it because it's been a nutso day. But I just, I remind myself that things will get done, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to put the effort into it before I go do something fun. And so I think just accepting where you are in your business and just knowing that like it will get done. Like, believe in yourself enough to know that like you're going to get those things done, but that you also like, you can't be working that level of somebody who works this full time because you've got other stuff going on. And maybe if you, consistently work it over and over again, you will get to the point where you can do it full time if you choose to. So,
yeah. And I have to point out, well, a couple of things that I love. I love that one, I mean, I'm not saying this because of, me, but you surround yourself with people that when you're feeling down are not going to like be like, you're right, it sucks, you should probably quit. But instead, you're going to specifically invest in those friendships and those relationships where you're going to tell someone, it's an honest enough friendship and relationship where you can say, hey, I'm feeling this way right now. But then that person's going to be like, okay, I hear you can feel that way for like 30 more minutes, but then you're going to, this is what you're going to do because you're awesome and you built this, team and you worked hard. And you and I talk a lot about like Stella&Dot really is the fun part. Like I remember a couple of weeks ago, for whatever, you were frustrated at work, whatever, you ended up going to a trunk show and you messaged me after and you're like, I had so much fun at that trunk show. Like it was so great. And you didn't know how the trunk show was going to go. And you showed up and there's only a couple of people there, but they all shopped and it was so fun. And you actually had fantastic sales and you were like, this is fun. Mm-hmm. And so remembering those things I think is key when you're feeling overwhelmed. And I think being very connected to your why. And I have to share with these guys that one of the cool things about Jennifer, and they featured her at Hoopla, whatnot, is that she paid cash for a car. So when she started her business, she saved all of her Stella&Dot money and went and bought a car. And there's like a promo video of this girl right here. You don't even know. She's like amazing. So I love that you're not comparing yourself to others. You're surrounding yourself with people that are going to encourage you. You're creating systems, you're brain dumping, you're working on high value activities, you're organizing your day. And if something doesn't get done, you're moving it to the top of the list of the next day. I have a feeling that like the notes section on your phone is full of words to say that you've saved, easy access things that are good for you to get, that you're just planning and preparing ahead of time. Yeah. So I know Lisa's on this call and she works full time. So do you have anything else to say, Jennifer?
Well, I was just going to say, when you started going through all of that, my consistency really started when we rolled out the 2242. And I think that just goes to say, and for those of you who are new, that was at Hoopla 3 Hooplas ago, I think. And it was 2 reach outs a day, consistently every day. And that would produce 2 outside orders a month, 4 trunk shows a month, and 2 qualified stylists a month. And it was really about the consistency. And that's when I got it. I was like, it's consistency. Like you don't have to go spend 5 hours in one day working your business. It's small chunks of time that you consistently do over and over again that create forward momentum. And so I think that would be like my parting thought is just that like, don't feel like you have to go like eat the elephant, like in one sitting, like just take tiny bites, like every day, just take those like tiny little bites and that will get you moving forward where you want to be.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that consistency, when you find that rhythm in your business, then you're able really, the whole, catchphrase that Stella&Dot loves to have, which is your business, your way, like you've been able to make it like that. And of course you're human and there's times where you compare yourself to somebody else, but finding your pace and your way is really the beauty that of Stella&Dot, that you and I, can be different career ranks, working the business different hours, but still end up on the beach together, having earned the trip. Yeah. So does anyone have any questions for Jennifer? She is at her full-time job. And so I told her we would try to be on for like 15, 20 minutes, and we're already over that, but I want to have time, and I'm going to save this and record it and post it so you guys can ask and tag her in our team page if you have questions. But on the phone, does anyone have any questions for her? If you don't, it's okay.
I have a question.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi. So, yes, I work a full-time job just like you, and I have literally just started in this fabulous business. And so I'm just curious, what piece of advice would you give someone like me? So what did you do when you very first started to sort of kind of really ramp up your business, and what is the one thing that you would suggest that we do as we're starting our business for somebody that is working a full-time job?
Yeah, I would say what really helped me ramp up my business was following that 224 system, where I was reaching out to 2 people every day, which actually is 10 new people a week, which is what Stella&Dot does now with, any training around like booking consistently or sponsoring consistently, is to reach out to 10 new people a week. And so I would say, get your first trunk show going, find a couple of people who want to have those next trunk shows that will introduce you and get you going, and then consistently sort of like mine your contacts and put reaching out to a couple of new people a day, like just at the top of your list, because that's going to help you build that consistent network and find those potential hostesses and potential stylists for your business. And that's like maybe like 10 minutes a day. I remember I used to make like a Post-it and I would like not let myself leave work until I like called those 2 people or texted those 2 people, or I would like put a note in my phone with their name and their phone number. And then as I drove or I was stuck in traffic at a traffic light, I would like tap their phone number and call them. And that would be my reach outs for the day. So I just fit it into like tiny pockets of my day, but it was that consistent behavior over and over again.
Okay,
and what
great.
I love about for full-time working women is that when you follow up, you reach out to 2 on Monday, and then on Tuesday you reach out to 2 new ones, but then you follow back up with the 2 from Monday, right? You can wait 48 hours, so you don't have to do it the very next day. So you could make Wednesday your follow-up day or whatever it may be, work a schedule that works for you. But again, that's putting that into chunks of time that is 10 or 15 minutes here, rather than I can sit down and spend an hour and a half on booking, and that, but I only may do that 1 day a week because the other days I've got other things going on. But you got to make it work for your schedule, which is what Jennifer said.
So for me, it was a lot of times it was easier to do 2 people in 1 day, and then 2 people the next day, and then 2 people the day after that, and then follow up with the first 2, versus sitting down for an hour and a half, because I just didn't have the time for that with my job.
Yep. And for the record, Jennifer sold like double what I sold last month. So there you go. She rocked it.
Your month
question,
will come.
Lisa. Did that help?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So if anyone else has a question, feel free to ask, or you can tag Jennifer in our team page. But I'm going to let you get back to work, friend. Tell Clint we said hi. And
thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much for hopping on and helping us out.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Glad to
bye.
help.